Hey, and welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I am an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki healer and an overall lightworker. And before we dive into today's episode, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos to please hit the subscribe button over there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please comment down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now of course, well, here are the details. Alrighty, so let's get to the meat of the video. Now today, it's actually, it was brought about by a couple of different things. So these are some of the observations, brought about by some of the observations that I have during meditation, some of the observations that I've had from clients as well, and some of the observations that I have with just my own personal self-talk to myself. So really, a lot of it comes from my personal experience, whether for my own self or a personal experience with a client. And so the topic of today's video is really all about self-acceptance. Now, I know that this term gets thrown around very loosely in communities nowadays, and it's similar to self-care, right? Self-care is everywhere. Everyone talks about self-care, everyone advocates self-care, but what does it really mean, right? So in this case, we're going to be talking about self-acceptance. And let me just give you a brief background, maybe just to kind of contextualize everything. And so, as a kid, growing up, I was really, really fat. Not chubby, fat. At 12 years old, I was 145 pounds, which is dangerous actually because I had a small frame. I mean, I was short at least. But when we went to the doctor for it, they found out that I had huge bones. So my bones were very, very dense and very, very thick and very, very heavy. But at the same time that the fat was also not contributive to my health, because it was heavy to walk, and I was getting pain in my knees because I'm knock-kneed as well. So I was getting pain in my knees because of the excess weight that I had to ferry around by walking. That I had to carry around while I was walking. And so growing up like this really made me feel different. It made me feel like I was an exception, but in a bad way. And it made me feel like I had to work harder in order to fit in, literally and figuratively. I would do my clothes shopping in the teen section because I couldn't fit into any of the, into the kids sizes. Although 12, you're going on teens, right? But I would normally go to the teen section, and even in the teen section, I would be redirected to the plus size section because that's how big I was as a child. And I wouldn't be able to fit into, actually I don't remember fitting into a lot of teens clothes. I remember fitting into a lot of plus size clothes, the women's clothes. But in the past, that wasn't really a thing, especially here in the Philippines. It's not a thing because majority of the population here are medium to small in sizes. And so it really did make me feel like I was an outcast, And for a lot of my friends weren't this way. I was the only one who was fat at the time. And even in high school, when I did encounter a lot of other women who were the same body as me, it still made me feel bad. It still made me feel like I was an outcast. And it still made me feel like I had to do something extra in order to be accepted, in order to be even looked at as a woman, in order to be looked at as someone who was worthy of their attention or worthy of being looked at even. And because of that, I feel like I didn't have the best self-acceptance growing up. It was very difficult to foster, now that I look back on it, right? It's very difficult to foster a deep kind of self-appreciation and self-acceptance when your entire environment is like that, you know? I mean, thank goodness for my friends who really stuck by me and really loved me for who I am, especially the friends that that I still have from grade school and high school up to now, all the way through, who I still am friends with. We're still good friends with, and we still connect because they really connected to me and not just my body, They didn't judge me based on my body, so I'm really thankful for that. And it was from them, actually. It was from all of these friends that I started to see how self-acceptance works. And so I started to notice that when some of these people actually accepted me for who I was, that's when I started to accept myself as well. And for a lot of people, it's a lot of different triggers, Some of it comes from just an intrinsic kind of motivation or intrinsic kind of trigger. For me, it was because of this. It was because I noticed that I still have a lot of friends that didn't judge me for what I looked like and for how heavy I was, because right now I'm actually at a chubby kind of phase. I don't know if you can see my arms, but that's a lot of arm, and you're welcome, So yeah, and a lot of this, so that was the beginning of it. That was the trigger for it. That's what started it. And then more and more as I meditated on it, more and more as I thought about it, I started to look at myself in a different way. I started to see exercise as a way of feeling good, and at the same time, the byproduct was only looking good, because for myself, I want to feel good from the inside out. And so I exercise first and foremost to feel good, and also emotionally to feel good because it releases endorphins. I started to exercise because I wanted to feel strong, and the byproduct of that was actually looking good. But I realized that I would never get to that stage of looking and feeling good from the inside out and holistically if I don't accept what I am right now, how my body is right now, who I am right now, flaws and all, physical body and all, mental body and all, emotional body and all. So for those of you who are struggling with self-acceptance, really and truly, the first step is not to deny yourself. Go ahead and look at yourself in the mirror. If there are some things that you hate, it's perfectly fine. Know that, again, I keep saying this again and again in a lot of my videos, but know that every second changes, and every second carries with it the potential for change. If there are some things that you don't like about yourself physically, emotionally even, or mentally even, if there are some things that you really just aren't on board with yourself, that's perfectly fine. The first step to getting anywhere is to acknowledge where you are. You don't have to like it, but you do have to acknowledge where you are, because that is your starting point, And it's really funny because the second step to self-acceptance, at least for me, the road to self-acceptance for me at least, the second step was to acknowledge that I do want a nicer looking body. I do want a healthier feeling body. I do want a stronger body. And that's all right. That's all right. It's okay if there are things that I don't like about myself. Perfectly fine. But at the same time, I also want to give myself that starting point. I want to know where I am right now. I want to be okay that in the knowing that this is my starting point. My body looks like this right now. It's not wrong, It's not wrong. It could be better, in my personal opinion, right? I could feel better. I could look better. But at the same time, I don't have to condemn it. It's something that I can actually and truly accept. In the same way that let's say, for example, you're going somewhere, right? I'll give the GPS example. You're going somewhere and you don't know where it is. So you input it rather in your GPS. You're not mad at where you are. You're not mad when you put your location right here, right now, right? You're not mad at your location. At the same time, try to adopt that for yourself. that was really the biggest game changer for me when it came to self-acceptance, was really just accepting it at face value. Like, my body is looking like this right now. It's not what I really want right now, but it is my starting point. And it's a fabulous body. It's stayed with me for the longest time, since I was born. And it's going to be with me forever and ever. And that is a really, really pivotal moment for you. The moment that you do that, the moment that you start to see things just at face value, and your body's not actually punishing you, your emotions aren't actually punishing you, your thoughts aren't actually punishing you, they just are for the moment. And every moment changes. So every moment is an opportunity to actually receive what I want. Every moment is an opportunity for me to accept who I am as a whole and be all right with it, And so the final thing is actually know that it's a continuous journey. For me, there are some days when I feel really, really out of place. Some days when I feel like I don't look well, I don't feel well, I am not well, just in general, like it's an icky feeling. And that's perfectly fine. Those days will come and go. Just as easily as they came in, they can easily go as well. And that is what it means to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself as well. Be gentle with yourself as well. Don't make it so hard on yourself. Things are going to come and go. If there's something that you want to bring back, then bring it back by manifestation. If there's something that you want to remove, then remove it by manifestation. And there's no permanent thing except change, And yeah, I've rambled on, but that is basically it. If you are struggling with your own sense of self-acceptance, maybe you can try this method. Maybe it can help you. I hope that it did help you, or at least give you kind of like an idea or like a starting point to go on your own journey of self-acceptance. Really look in the mirror and tell yourself that, hey, there are some things that I love about myself. There are some things that I don't love about myself. Both are fine. Both can be fixed. Both can be improved. Whatever I love can retain. Whatever I don't love can go. I can do something about it. And whatever I want to love about myself, I can come in. I can call it in, rather. All right? So I hope that this was helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, you want to say hey, please comment down below. If you would like to receive notifications of my new videos, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are my details. And that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy. I would like to congratulate you for starting your journey on your self-acceptance. Starting your self-acceptance journey, that's one thing to celebrate today. Even if it seems small, it's really not. The first step is always the hardest. It's always the scariest. And by watching this video, you've already done it. So I'm so proud of you. All right? Keep going. And yeah, bye for now.